dangerous game, as they referred to it, was a matter of human hunting.
What if the most disturbing Epstein revelations weren't about money or blackmail, but about what him and his friends call recreational sports?
Some clients own their own island or a big piece of land. They would buy us just to hunt us.
Once you follow the patterns, the questions stop being if and becomes how long has it been happening?
And then when they give the go, they release the kids, that's when the elite will go through the woods and start hunting for them.
In this video, we are going to look at the emails and the long circulating rumors that some of the most powerful people in the world may have been participating in something darker than we could have ever imagined. Human hunting, and not framed as a crime, but as a sport.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, all praise, all honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta. And I was about to promise I'm not going to do any more lessons on these reports that are coming out, but I'm not going to make that promise. There's so much good material that is coming out, and this is revealing the Edomites. This is revealing the wicked. And so we're going to keep going as long as they keep giving us material for it. But yeah, this is the wicked being revealed. We don't know if they're doing this as some type of humiliation ritual or just showing the fact that they're so high up that you can't touch them, that you could do nothing about these things. But overall, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is revealing them. Even if they released it themselves, the Lord is still revealing them. And He's showing you what we just saw. They're talking about hunting parties. It started out mentioning The Most Dangerous Game, which was a really good book. Read in like 4th grade, maybe 5th grade. And just the synopsis of it, The Most Dangerous Game, is a classic 1924 short story by Richard Connell about big game hunter Sanger Rainsford, who becomes the prey in a hunt on a remote island. Sound familiar? On a remote island with the sinister General Zaroff, who has grown bored with hunting animals and now hunts humans for sport. Shipwrecked on Zaroff's island, Ransford must use his hunting skills to survive 3 days against Zaroff and his servant, exploring themes of civilization versus savagery, morality, and the hunter becoming the hunted. Now, I really liked this book growing up. I think it gave him like a knife and gave him a head start to get out there, and then he started hunting them. And then you see all these other adaptations of this same story. You saw it with Ice-T, Escaping the Game or something like that. There's some others that have come out that have been very similar. Even Hunger Games really comes down to she got some inspiration from this. But yeah, this stuff is revealing who the devil actually is. And if you remember, we were told who the devil is back in Genesis, back in the beginning, when he first came out, Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, the boys being Jacob and Esau, the sons of Isaac. These are the boys that grew. These are the same boys that were wrestling in their mother's womb, because one would come out righteous and one would be evil. This is the same story as Cain and Abel. One was righteous, one was evil, and their progeny went on to be that as well. And here with Jacob and Esau, we're watching one be righteous and one be evil, being the wicked and their progeny. And we're coming to the head of the progeny at this point. We're watching, as it says in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Esau is the end of the world, which that world would have been marked in wickedness and pollution, and Jacob's the beginning of it that follows, which that world is marked by righteousness and everlasting life. It says, and the boys grew, Jacob and Esau was a cunning hunter. Esau being the so-called white people, including those tiny tops. And their forefather was a cunning hunter. So what would make you think that his progeny aren't going to actually hunt humans? It's not, shouldn't be surprising. Even hearing about the book, The Most Dangerous Game, that's really just showing you these devils were doing it back then. And they're like that. They're bloody people. It says, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Jacob was a plain man. That word plain goes into perfect. Jacob being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And this is the righteous. And this goes to all our progeny. And we've both been scattered, both Jacob and Esau. Esau scattered himself, and Jacob, the Lord, scattered us. But it's about bloodline. So both sides, both Jacob and Esau, the Edomites aren't just gonna look so-called white, and the Israelites aren't just gonna look so-called brown or Negro. We're gonna look like it's about bloodlines, basically. Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, his deer meat. But Rebekah loved Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. But just showing you, Esau was a cunning hunter. Shouldn't be too hard to connect that, the Edomites would do this. They would hunt people. Getting back to this video, I'm going to skip up to about here. And he talks about who he was hunting. So let's take a listen.
They are very, very scary. And
just wanted to say this is from Matt Cullen channel. Or Stories with Matt, just to, give him some recognition for putting this together. But let's listen.
Depressing and suspicious. Jeffrey to a man named Mortimer Zuckerman. How is the girl hunting? Then redacted to redacted. Surprise, surprise. Jilligan, I didn't get your email. Did you talk to Jane? Is everything okay? Can we talk about the treasure hunt for girls on the island? We will be there on January 4th. Give me your private phone number. Do you miss me yet? Love, love. Can we talk about the treasure hunt on the girls on the island? This is the worst one. The subject is snipe hunt is over, moon crickets in field bag. And the contents that are in the email read, guess what? Their N-word. The subject is snipe hunt is over, moon crickets in field bag. And the contents that are in the email read, guess what?
Yeah, so you can see it right there. They were hunting Jake out here. That's the most dangerous game. Guess what? And they're still funny. Snipe hunt is over, moon crickets in field bag. Moon crickets is a derogatory term for Jacob. Moon crickets is one of those proverbs and bywords that you would be able to identify the Israelites off of. And the hunting is one of those things you can identify the Edomites off of. This man of sin is being revealed. He says, guess what? They're niggers. But this is why our forefather David had prayers against these people for the Lord to deliver us out of their hands, because these are bloody, violent men. This is Psalms 140, verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. It says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. That evil man being the Edomites, so-called white people, including the tiny hats. And just because not every single white person is of the lineage of Esau, Edom. Some are Israelites, some are from the other nations, but for the most part, so-called white people, including the tiny tops, are the evil man. These are the Edomites, and these are the wicked, which are ruling taking over the world currently. That's why we're even talking about the elite going on hunts for Jacob, going on hunts for little girls, which that's super weak. If you're going to hunt a person, you should get the most dangerous person you can. But they're hunting little girls, they're hunting little children. They're hunting Jake in a weak form. This is the evil man. It says, preserve me from the violent man. And these are violent people. When Esau got his blessing, one of his blessings was of the sword, power of the sword. You shall live by the sword. And they live by that sword. And it's evolved into other weaponry, including guns. But for that to be your blessing, you're going to be a violent person. And that's what they are. It says, which imagine mischiefs in their heart, continually are they gathered together for war. Which imagine mischiefs in their heart, they sat down and thought about how much fun it would be for them to hunt people. That's that. Continually are they gathered together for war. And this whole world is in a constant state of war because we have the evil man, the violent man at the head. As the king, so are the people. They love war. Skip it down to verse 4. It says, keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Malachi 1 and 4 lets you know these are the Edomites, the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who hath purposed to overthrow my goings. They're out here hunting Jacob. This is the violent man. They're hunting innocents too. Or I'm not going to say innocents, but they're hunting children. Hunt a full-grown man if you're going to hunt somebody. Not that hunting people is right in the least bit, but just saying. These are weak people. These are depraved people. They hunt people. They kidnap them and then they hunt them. They torture them. They drink their blood. They eat their flesh. And you can't vote this out. You can't vote it away. You got to let Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai sort this thing out. These people keep talking about voting them out, and all this stuff is a false reality. You vote them out, you're just going to get some more Edomites in. It's about the Edomites being taken completely out of power and put into chains. Their whole entire nation. The whole entire nation. That's why they get taken off the earth. Completely removed from the earth, because they are a depraved group of people. What's crooked can't be made straight. There's no rehab for them. It's Ezekiel 35 and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. Mount Seir was the original home of the Edomites. They took it from the Horites and dwelt there. And if you look at it, it's called modern day Petra. It's the same structures that you'll see in ancient Rome and ancient Greece and here in America in a Western civilization. Those columns and arches. It's all the same because these are the same people. And prophesy against it and say unto it, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir. So these Edomites, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. The Lord is against them. He hates them, but he put them in power as a punishment to the Israelites, and as a great example of how not to be. They're about to be made an example of. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Isaiah 14, and I think 21 says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor inhabit the cities thereof. Paraphrasing. The Lord's about to take them out so they have no power at all here in the field, throughout the world. And they're going to be made desolate, because after they serve out their punishment of hardcore slavery for 1,000 years, they're going to be rounded up and done away with, completely taken off this earth. Obadiah 1 and 18, the great bonfire that's coming for them. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, it's never stopped, ever since Jacob and Esau, back in Genesis 25, it has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, the time that their iniquity had an end. So even once we were taken out of slavery, it got worse after that. The Reconstruction period was worse for us. And then getting joined unto you with the civil rights and stuff, that's even worse for us as well. That killed our families. You've been constantly at us from the beginning, and the Lord's about to make you all pay for it. That's why he's exposing you now, and the judgment is about to come. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You have not hated blood. You're the violent, bloody man. You hunt people. You hunt people. That means you don't hate blood. And so you're about to be hunted. Blood shall pursue thee. That's you being hunted. Because the Lord said he's going to send for many hunters. There's that Jeremiah 16. Jeremiah 16, actually, in 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters. And the fishers are out now. These are the men you see on the highways and byways, trying to direct or wake up the elect for them to attend the wedding, bidding them to the marriage. That's who you see. Those are the fishers, starting with the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, because the Lord is going to change us. He sent into a new, sharp threshing instrument. And Lord willing, I'm of that number. Lord willing, if you're doing the work, you are as well. It says, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill. These are your governments, your big governments, your small governments, and out of the holes of the rocks. These devils are going to try to hide away and just get away from the Lord when he's coming. But they're not going to be able to hide. He tells you right here, for mine eyes are upon all their ways. He sees your hunting parties. He sees your wickedness that you're doing. He sees these meetings, these secret councils you're holding, and then discussing your plans and putting them forth within the earth. He sees that. He sees you eating flesh. He sees you drinking blood. He sees you sacrificing children. He sees you touching the apple of his eye, which are the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and are scattered. He sees you touching the Israelites. He sees the blasphemy of white Jesus, as well as that blasphemous name that is attached to it, Jesus the Christ. He sees all this stuff. He sees how you've touched his doctrine, his word. What does thou to do to touch his law, statutes, and commandments? You got nothing to do with this. He sees all your ways. He says, they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. First I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double. You get double, Esau, because they have defiled my land. They have filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. You've taken the Lord's land. You're in it right now, your Balfour Declaration. And you're seeing it's a lot of these people of the Balfour Declaration that are being named in this. You just look at Jazzy Jeff's last name. That should tell you everything. That's who this is. That's Amalek. They've defiled this land. They've filled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. You messed up, Esau. You're in absolute trouble. We're going to jump back to Psalms 140. End it there. As the Lord said, it says, thou hast not hated blood, blood will pursue thee. Psalms 140 and 11. Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth, and their tongue walketh all about the earth. And you're not going to be established. You are fading away. These curses are coming on you quickly. You don't even have enough population to keep going. Your birth rates are down. And y'all are being taken out of the way. It also talks about how they're the prince of the power of the air, and their airwaves go out throughout the earth with their propaganda and their witchcraft that they send out. This can't keep going on. The Lord's about to remove them. So it says, evil, bad times shall hunt the violent man. These bad times are on you, Esau, Edom, you violent man. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him. This is coming onto you. You Edomites, even though your inward thought is that your kingdom shall continue forever, it's not going to happen. You won't be established. You're being taken out of the way right now. You're being exposed and you're about to be removed. Verse 12, I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. And they're going into poor areas and getting a lot of these children. Surely, in which the poor is the Israelites, first and foremost. But just saying, these are people that didn't have any, these victims of theirs didn't have any might in their hand to do anything against them. It says, surely the righteous shall give thanks unto thy name, the upright shall dwell in thy presence. But the point being that evil shall hunt the violent man. These bad times are coming for these Edomites. And they're about to be hunted. What thou hast done, it shall be done. Because there will most likely be hunting parties for Edomites within the kingdom. It's going to be a jolly old time. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, all praise, all honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.